course, everything's gonna look easy and good, but I'm gonna show you how exhausted and how challenging it is. Hi everybody, welcome to the channel. Yu Ting, I'm Jess. Today we're gonna be talking about 5 mindset habits of focusing on ourselves. And personally, 2022 has been a very stressful year, really focusing on work. And it would just be waking up, working, coming back home, and eating and sleeping. And that was basically my life the whole year. 2023, hopefully it's gonna be a new year. And we're just gonna kick it off because it's still the beginning of the year and it's never too late to do anything. Point number 1, bringing it up right now, we're gonna talk about creating better habits and taking care of ourselves. I think at the end of the day, we know what we want to do, but it's easier said and it's easier to think about it than actually doing it. I think the action part is really hard. Some of the things I really want to focus on this year is just waking up early. And my goal for that is going to be trying to wake up at like 6 a.m. But my body right now can only wake up at like 7:30 or 8 a.m. Because before I usually wake up around like 10 or 11. So I guess like those small steps does make a difference. Right now, my body's getting used to waking up that early. Other things I really want to focus on this year is just going back to the gym again. And I haven't worked out at the gym for like 2 to 3 years, and it's been a long break for me. I know like before I really was heavily focused on fitness, but now we're trying to get back into it. And I think it is okay for us to kind of like take a break from something that we actually do love and eventually fall back into again with a fresh mind. Other like smaller things I really want to try to focus on is just cooking healthier and reading, journaling here and there, like for in the morning times or night times, which is when I like to have my down times. If I read in the morning, it will just give me a fresh perspective, a good mindset going into the day. And then if I come home, I would try to read too if I want to kind of like calm down my mind and be a better mindset before I sleep. So it's really your preference if you want to try that, like read, journaling, listening to music, working out, dancing, drawing, anything like you always want to like, you know that you always wanted to try and create a habit of it. I think you should go for it. Point number 2 is just doing what feels right. Doesn't have to be perfect and doesn't matter what anyone else thinks because they're not living your life. You're living your life and you have to choose what you want in your life. And I think I've been constantly telling myself that things I do or what I'm getting back into, like fitness and recording and everything, doesn't have to be perfect. And I think that's such a barrier to me because of my mind, there's so much resistance there. So just like overcoming something that I've been like thinking about doing like every day has been pretty challenging to me. Other than that, I think that thing that you always keep thinking about, even growing up, and it's always like in the back of your mind that you always wanted to do. I know what it feels like to really push it onto the next day and move it to the next day. And if you don't do it the next day, then you'll just push it back even further. And eventually a year passes by and you don't do it. And I think that shit scares me the most, is staying so stagnant, but you know what you truly want to dabble in and like what you're interested in. I think it is important to take that first step, no matter how small it is. I think stepping out your comfort zone is really a learning experience. And it's very hard at first, you get very self-conscious, but I think it's worth it at the end. Whatever you're thinking about every day or something that you find interest in for a few seconds or a few minutes, I think like you should even try, even if that idea comes into your mind. It is also good to just test things out, see what you like, see what you don't like, so you know how to guide your life. Moving on to number 3, what has been helping me change my mindset into like a more positive and, you know, doing better habits in my life is basically just reading books that is focused on lifestyle, business, anything self-care wise. I like lean towards that section. I know people like fictional books, which helps too, whatever you're comfortable with. Along with reading books is watching inspirational videos, meaning like YouTube videos, and that's why I like so heavily invested in YouTube, because like there's so many inspirational people out there who focus on self-care, who focus on like taking care of yourself. And even though you're working so much, you know, this should be time. Throughout the whole day, you should have some you time to focus on yourself, because, you know, things get in the way a lot. And I know we're all feeling some type of stress or anxiety and everything. So, you know, hopefully you guys find that one thing that makes you ease your mind. It's just surrounding yourself with positive things. I think that has been a major thing impacting my life. Number 4 is doing what you love, your passion, and just being creative overall. And that for me is basically just stepping out my comfort zone and doing something I've been wanting to doing in the back of my head. I always knew I wanted to do. And if you have a glimpse of that, I think that is a sign of you should start, or you should like kind of like play around with it. Don't take it too seriously. The hardest part is starting. That's it. So find whatever you're passionate in, creative, anything, just start. And I keep telling myself that, just start. Point 5 is really important. You can listen to so many inspirational things, advice from your friends, read books that has really like positive impact, but it's not gonna do anything unless you want to change yourself. And I like noticed that like growing up, you can't really like influence people if they don't want to change. So I think if you want to create a big change, at the end of the day, it's not gonna matter unless you want to take that step. And whenever you are ready, because it took me forever. Like I keep thinking a few years down the road is that what if I am stuck, I'm feeling the same way, and feeling like kind of sad and depressed and not like doing what I really wanted to do, and just kept thinking about what I want to do. Is just like such a game changer. So I think this is really an important time to realize that we have to cherish ourselves, keep our peace, and keep our mindset in a certain direction in order for us to grow from a more negative mindset, if that makes sense. Because I've been in both areas, and I know the negative mindset is very suffocating and it's not a great feeling of being there. It took me a while to get out of it, maybe like a whole year to be honest. And whenever you are ready, there shouldn't be any pressure with any external factors. Yeah, I hope you enjoy the journey we're both going through, and hopefully we can go through the journey together. Whenever you are ready to start, thank you for coming to the channel and staying at the end of the video. And I love you guys. Thanks for coming to my first video back, Yuting. Yeah, have a great day guys. Bye. Bye. Bye.